Hello. This morning I'm back out in the garden, working very gently on one of the raised beds. And although we have lots of space here, I want every single inch of these raised beds to work really hard for us. And so this morning I have cut down all the mange too, which are called snow peas elsewhere. And I haven't lifted them out of the ground. I've literally just cut them off pretty much at ground level and taken down all the climbing bits. I've taken off all the peas, cleared away the support netting, and next I'm going to clear it of weeds, and then I'm going to use that space to grow my leeks. Pea plants that I've taken out are now not going to go to waste. All that lovely growth is going to be divided between some compost bins, and also the ducks have been really enjoying them. Because this soil has already grown a crop this season, I've added a few amendments into it just to give it a bit of oomph, because in the autumn I'll give it a feed of compost so it can sit with compost or possibly a green manure for the winter. But right now it's going to be hungry, so I've given it some amendments, and the next job is to make the holes in the ground ready for the leeks to go into. Now, depending on how hard the soil actually is, I might need to water it first. I'm hoping not, because I want to water it after I've put the leeks in, but we'll see how we go. The tool I use for making the holes for my leeks is the handle from a spade or a fork that broke. And Mr. J literally just cut it off for me, which allows me to make holes in the ground, I hope. It is like concrete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water this first, which will soften the soil a bit. So the soil has had quite a thorough soaking now. I've left it a few minutes to soak in. Let's see how we get on. Well, that's one. This is going to be a long, slow process, and it's one I think I might have to ask Mr. J to come and help me with, so that I'm not using my back too much. And the next stage is to take the leeks from their little growing place where they've been in a nursery bed basically, and all I'm doing is washing some of the soil off their roots, which will do two things. It will allow them to have a little bit of a drink before they go into the hole. Also makes them much easier to separate. I've got a great big piece of wood stuck in with them. There we go. I wouldn't normally add any water to these holes before planting. I put the plants in first, but the ground is so dry. So here we go. I'm going to separate these out and try not to break too many of their roots. So we've got little plants and I'm literally just going to put them, just going to put their roots into the hole. There we go, in you go mate. These have got really good root systems on them. I'm very pleased. In you go. And one more. Because I don't want these to dry out, they're going straight back into that bucket. And then rather than covering them with soil, I just fill up the hole with water. And just the watering action will knock some soil over them. Will help their roots work down. Now, even in a not blisteringly hot year, the leeks will drop over. They'll flop, and I'll keep them watered. I'll water them once a day for the next 2 or 3 days, and then they should stand up again and be away because their roots will have found the soil and they're settled in. It is really warm again today. And the wisdom of transplanting leeks in this kind of heat, well, there is no wisdom to that at all. It's a silly idea really, but I'll keep them watered. I'll give them another drink tonight, and I might now wait until early evening before I put the rest of them in, just so it has cooled a little bit. But the plan for this bed, as with all the beds, is as one crop comes out, another one goes in, so the soil doesn't sit empty and unused. If it's going to be empty for a while, I'm going to get a green manure on it, but this bed can have leeks in it, it can have more beetroot and more carrots, and then hopefully this garden will produce an absolute abundance of food for us this year. I'm going to gather a few runner beans, then I'm going to head inside because it's really warm now. Really doesn't take very long to pick a handful of runner beans, but I've now got a bag with all the peas in it, the snow peas or mange tout, whatever you want to call them, and I'm heading inside, find a cup of tea, sort out the peas, slice up the beans, have a chat with Mr. J. Well, that's it for me today. I've got peas and beans to get on with, and so wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for the day, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you can join us tomorrow when we'll be telling you about a giveaway. Turns out it doesn't take very long to gather quite a lot of beans in. So I've got a big handful of runner beans to go inside. An aeroplane going overhead. Oh, oh. I'll start again.